Did you ever forget you're supposed to do a YouTube show?
Hey, Force Network presents
Cowabummer.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cowabummer. I am Jay the Archfey. The mess behind me is nothing for you to worry about. Gizmo's just face planted on a VHS player with a bunch of blankets on him because I'm rearranging my room. But that's a problem for a later day. Now, today, we're here to talk about something very important and very special called I clickbaited the goddamn internet. That's right. You bitches fell for it. If you look at my YouTube analytics, I average 9, 10 views, and that's okay. Cowabummer gets 20 to 30, and that's also okay. I made a video explaining why I don't stream anymore. Motherfuckers click that shit like it was bah, 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 bah. Why? Because it was about controversy. And that's the problem with people today. All you want is controversy. All you want is people being mad and people being angry at each other and complaining about shit. That's what's wrong with the internet. That being said, I'm now going to make a video titled, Why the fuck is Lego so expensive? That's not true. I'm not going to call it that. But today we are going to talk about Lego because recently at work, for those who don't know, I work with kids in childcare. Usually kids with ASD. The kids recently have been bringing Legos to play with. One of the therapists actually brought her kids old Legos to play with. It's the Lego Marvels that I grew up with. The Marvel Legos that I grew up with. Sorry, let me speak clearly. And that's kind of made me get reminiscent of my Lego collecting days. Now, I collect action figures. This show has been mostly about Pokemon and action figures. Thing is, recently, action figures to me have not been getting along. Maybe it's the price. Maybe it's the fact that I can only get them at Target and Walmart usually, or online and have to pay shipping. And I don't want to do that because I don't want to shop at those places and I don't want to spend a lot of money. I don't know, but I go through my collection nowadays and I look and I go, do I need that many G.I. Joes? Do I need those WWE Ninja Turtles figures? Now the other thing is that I'm keeping forever is my Predator shit and my Ninja Turtles shit. My 2012 at least. I don't know if I'll keep Mutant Mayhem. I'm kind of on the fence about that one too. We'll see. They're good figures. I have nothing against the figures. It's just the fact that I don't know if I want it still or not, you know? But anyway, so with these kids bringing their Legos and the therapist bringing Legos, it's made me go, damn, I kind of miss my Legos. Because I had a whole setup. I had the entirety of Captain America Civil War. I had most of the Lord of the Rings sets, a couple Hobbit sets. I never got Tower of War thing because that shit was expensive. My family could not afford that. I could not afford that, but that's okay. We don't need it. But the one thing that I've always wanted was Lego Batman. So I was like, I'm going to get into Lego Batman. I'm going to rearrange my room. I'm going to get more shelf space. I'm going to build my Legos I have here. I'm going to get my Legos from back at my parents' place because I have my Marvel there, my Star Wars there, and my Marvel's Ultimate Spider-Man. By the way, those Ultimate Spider-Man sets were banger. We'll get back to that. So I was like, I kind of want to get some DC because I've been really into DC recently. I did the Scarecrow cosplay, if you've seen that. I've been reading a lot of Batman stuff. So I was like, let me get some Batman Legos. So I went to the Lego website. Tell me why the only sets are Arkham Asylum with all the villains, which is cool, but they're all in orange jumpsuits. They're not in their villain outfits. And a bunch of Batmobiles. Back when I collected Lego as a kid, when I was told I couldn't get Batman sets because I had Ninjago and that's enough. We had a lot of Batman, right? There's the original early 2000s run that came out with the Lego Batman game where Two-Face was gray and white. It was the sets from the game. If you've played Lego Batman, you know. And then Lego Batman 2 came out and they redid a lot of the characters for that. And I remember I always wanted those sets. I wanted the orange Two-Face. I wanted the Bane's Driller. I wanted it all, but I couldn't get it. And that's okay. Legos are expensive. They are still expensive. We're going to get into that in a second, too. So I'm looking now, and I'm like, okay, there's 4 Batmobiles and Arkham Asylum. That kind of sucks. Let me look at Lego Star Wars. Holy shit, is Lego expensive now. It's like $30 for a mini Star Destroyer. I was like, okay, that's fine. Maybe Marvel's got something. I look at Marvel, and it's just the movies. There's no comic sets. There's none of the sets from the shows. Just like with Batman, there's a couple Batman movie cars. That's it. And I was sitting there going, what happened to Lego? Because a lot of the brands that I grew up with are now more collector focused. They don't have the play sets. I like the play sets. I was into Ninjago. I was into, like I said, the Marvel stuff. And don't get me wrong, the busts are cool. The collector sets are cool. But when you own a license like Lord of the Rings, they have the license Lord of the Rings. It has 3 sets. They're all collector. There's no kids stuff. It's like, kids don't play with Lord of the Rings. Yeah, they do. Or at least they did. I did. I was fucking, 13, 14? I was like, give me all that shit. No, I was younger than that. Fuck, when did The Hobbit come out? I was still in elementary school, wasn't I? Yeah, because Lego Lord of the Rings came out for the Wii. So I was young. I was like, give me that shit. I want Legolas. I want Gimli. Let me mash them together, right? Now, I had a phase. Oh, my border's messed up. Hang on. There we go. I had a phase back in 23 where I started collecting Star Wars Lego. I got the AT-AT, or the 6-legged walker. Might have been I don't know. Anyway, I got it, and I built it on stream, and I had so much fun. And I set it on my shelf, and I went, it's just kind of sitting there, right? The minifigures kept falling over because I didn't have a stand for them. It stood alone by itself. It didn't look good. So I sold it. I sold a lot of my early Star Wars Lego, or my more recent Star Wars Lego. And so I thought that was it. I thought I was done with Lego. I said, I'm tapped. I'm good. I don't need them. But then, I don't know, something about it made me want my old Lego back. And I was like, well, maybe I should expand on it. But I don't have space. And that's the issue with Lego. I think my issue with Star Wars is if you get a ship, you got to put the figure in the ship. You can't pose them fighting each other doing cool shit. With Batman, if you get like Arkham Asylum or you get like Joker's Playhouse with the playset features, you can have the characters hanging off doing cool stuff because it's hard to pose a Lego figure to look cool. They have 5 points of articulation. No. Yeah. And one of it's just a head swivel. So it's kind of like you can't pose them like you can an action figure. So display-wise, the build is the thing you look at. The figures are a bonus. And none of the builds right now interest me that much. Unless they're $200 to $300. The X-Mansion looked kind of cool. The Helicarrier, I think it was a Helicarrier. No, it was the Daily Bugle, the old one, not the new one. The new one's, The old one looked sick, but it's like $500 to $600 for those. I think the X-Mansion's $300, but still, it's a lot of money that I don't have. The smaller sets, while they're cool, it's like a ship, it's a car. It's really hard to like pose the figures looking dynamic for Star Wars. The Death Star's $1,000, right? That's crazy. Who's gonna buy that? If you buy the Death Star for $1,000, you're part of the reason that Lego can get away with what it gets away with. And that's the thing. Back when I was a kid, Lego was easier to get. It wasn't as expensive. The royalty prices weren't as high for the themes. The piece production was a lot cheaper. I get inflation and all that, but it's kind of crazy now that I have to spend $30 on like a triangle basically that comes with Yoda and a droid. So yeah, Marvel sets are uninspired. They're just re-releases of the movies, stuff I already had as a kid. Also, I'm not really into the MCU right now. Batman is just the Batmobiles, and I don't want a Batmobile collection. I want the Rogues Gallery. Also, it's just Batman. Where's my Superman? Well, there might have been some sets from the movie, but still, where's my Superman? Where's my Wonder Woman? Where's my Flash sets? Where's the comic book Legos? Did those not sell well? Because I knew kids who had a bunch of them. I thought they were cool as shit, right? Like I said, I wanted the Two-Face. I wanted the Bane. And I mean like the little Bane. I don't want the big fig Bane. I like Bane better when he's a minifig than a big fig, but that's just me. Also, Lucha Bane is the best Bane. Tom Hardy Bane is the worst. You can't change my mind. So it's got to a point where Lego is a thing I'm interested in. It's kind of like Pokemon, where like I want to collect Pokemon cards again, but I can't find them. With Lego, I want to collect Lego again, but I can't afford it. I can afford action figures. I just don't like where I can buy them from usually. I guess I could go shopping on Big Bad Toy Store, but like that's a lot of like work to sit down and see if I can get free shipping and do this and do that. I'd rather just be able to go and grab it. But again, ethical consumption is a big thing for me. So in Lego, I'm like, okay, I'm interested. I go to the store, it's expensive. I go to lego.com, it's expensive. The ones I can't afford, I don't really want because I can't display them well. What's my alternative? Going and getting all of my childhood Lego. Now, some of you may think, Jay, that's not that big a deal. Go build your childhood Lego, make space, rearrange your room. I'm going to do it. I might even do videos of me building old classic Lego sets because they're disassembled under my bed. The problem is, Lego doesn't last forever, especially for some reason the brown Lego. The brown Lego is one of the most brittle. Because I was disassembling some of my Lord of the Rings sets to bring them back here, and my brown pieces were shattering. Now, you say, Jay, that's not a big deal. You can go to Bricklink. You can go to Pick-a-Brick. Pick-a-Brick's great, right? Pick-a-Brick's not going to happen soon because of tariffs, I think. Let me double check that, actually. So I was going to do Pick-a-Brick. But the thing with Pick-a-Brick is, right as I was like, okay, let me start rebuilding these sets, a certain orange man implemented tariffs and took half the Pick-a-Brick site down because they don't want to ship minis to America. So now I'm stuck looking at Bricklink, but guess what? Bricklink shipping is crazy, right? I've used Bricklink before. It's a service I've used a couple of times, and it's like, oh, I need one piece that's about this size. And they're like, cool, that'll be $6 for a 99-cent piece. Or you can keep buying from the seller and spend $10 and get free shipping. And so then I'm going through the seller's list trying to find pieces I don't fucking need. So, new Lego I either don't want or it's too expensive. And my old Lego's all busted up because I played with it. It's a toy. And now I can't rebuild it because I'm missing pieces. Also, shout out to my parents' dog who ate Gandalf the White. So I have to go spend like $16 on his torso piece. Now that I've done my complaining, I do want to say, I think Lego... me as a definitely professional who knows so much about Lego and is 100%, they should hire me. I know what I'm doing and I know what I'm talking about. I'm not just a collector and a consumer. They need to expand the Batman stuff out, right? They need to go back to being targeted towards kids. Kids still love Lego. The kids I work with at work, obsessed with Lego. But they only ever get City because all of the sets for the shit they like is too expensive. That's why they were so excited when one of my managers brought in her kids Lego. So like, oh my gosh, I can play with Spider-Man. I can do this. Now, they do have the 4 kids sets. But I would have hated that shit as a kid because it's too simple. I liked the complexity of getting to sit down and spend 2 hours trying to rebuild a Lego set. I enjoyed that. But now it's like, okay, well, here we have a half of it is pre-built with giant chunky pieces that are easy for you. And here's the Hulk in a car. Why the fuck does the Hulk have a car? Here's Spider-Man with a motorcycle. Why the fuck does Spider-Man have a motorcycle? Here's every Marvel superhero with a mech. Why the fuck do the Marvel superheroes need a mech? Pretty much the only line that has stayed consistent is City. City, I actually would get into if I had the space to actually set it up and make a city. All of my City Legos I've left at my mother's house because she said, and I quote, I have a grandson. When he grows up, I need stuff for him to play with. And I said, that's fair. You bought most of my City stuff for Christmas. You can keep it. However, my Lord of the Rings is going with me, and I will come back for Star Wars and Marvel. But I think Lego needs to go back to its older ways. I think like the Ultimate Spider-Man era was phenomenal. That set with Iron Spider, Miles Morales, and Spider-Man fighting, who was it? Sandman, Rhino, I think Carnage or Venom. Carnage, maybe. I don't know. Fighting them was an awesome set because it was big. It had play features, but also you could fit the Spider-Man in different areas and use it as a display piece. It used to be, it could be either or. The Lego Ninjago Temple of Light, that thing was great with play features. It was great for playing, but also you could set it up and display it really nicely as a diorama. And that's the issue with Lego nowadays, where it's like vehicles, it's cars, if it's for the younger audience, or it's $300,000, over-exaggeration, for a nice diorama piece, but it's going to cost you an arm and a leg, like the Lord of the Rings sets. The Eye of Sauron is like $700, and I think I'm over-exaggerating these prices. I haven't actually looked them up to be clear, but it's a lot of money. It's over $300. Riverdale is also super expensive. I think it was also over $300. I have the original Riverdale set, the tiny one. That's all I need. It's a little dio piece. I can sit everybody down. They can all stand there nicely, and it's great. But now it's like either you get playability or you get dio. There's no in between. And that's, I think, why I'm struggling to get back into it. Because I want to. I miss building Lego. I miss setting up my little dials. I miss having, like, Batman fighting Iron Man and shit. I didn't have Batman. That's an over-exaggeration again. I miss mixing my Lego City and my Lego Marvel together so they could, like, fight each other and stuff. The lighting changed drastically. The sun went away. You can't do that now because either the sets are too expensive for the ones that can be used as dio, and they don't have a lot of play features because they're there for the collector, or it's like fucking Spider-Man fighting the Rhino and there's a bank he can steal. You know what we're going to do? We're going to look. We're going to look at some fucking Lego, and I'm going to prove my point, okay? Let's do it. Let's look at Lego. We're going to do impromptu Lego reviews on Lego.com home. Sound good, chat? I sure hope it does, because that's what we're doing. All right, half my frame is gone, so you all can see the Lego thing on the screen. Just to explain. I'll also scoot more this way. There we go. I'm off center, but that's okay. So we got our Lego here, right? Actually, yeah. It's, my screen's over here. It's not, it's mirrored. I can't. Anyway, we got our Lego here. We got some Christmas Lego. We've got Lego Wicked. We've got Lego, these things. These fucking, can you see my mouse? Kind of, not really. There you go, I had to tab in. These fucking Lego things, these little knockoff Funko Pops, they're doing that now. That's the thing. I'll get to that later. But let's look at what we've got for our themes that I used to collect as a kid. Let's go shop. Let's go by theme. Let's go Batman. Let's see Batman. What do we got for Batman? Okay, collector's set, $300. What's it got with it? All of the figures I want, but this is not what I mean when I say I want an interactive diorama. This is fucking, the Batman, it looks great. Catwoman's a little rough. Joker looks great. Harley looks great, but it's just a flat piece I hang on my wall. I can't put the figures on it, right? Collector stuff, not what we want, right? No kid's gonna want this. If they do, I'd be shocked, right? Next one. Arkham Asylum. I talked about this earlier. A lot of people have beef with this one. I actually do like it. I think it's cool. I like the minifigure count. It's not as cool as the original Arkham Asylum, but it's got Batgirl. It's got Scarecrow. It's got the best Robin ever. Changed my mind. Catwoman, Riddler, Killer Croc, as a minifig, not a big fig, a thing I like. Minifig Bane, also a thing I like. But it's still technically a collector set. It's not that big. Here's the minifigure lineup. That's a good lineup. I don't get me wrong. Especially, like, I like that these three are in their normal outfits, but these three, they're all in jumpsuits, which would be fine if I could get them not in jumpsuits. But guess what? As we go through this list, there ain't gonna be more of them, right? We've got Joker in a jumpsuit, Penguin in a jumpsuit, Bane in a jumpsuit, Scarecrow in a jumpsuit, Killer Croc in a jumpsuit, Harley Quinn in a jumpsuit. When we go through this list, let's see how many sets we can get these characters in not in their jumpsuits. We've got Batman Forever Batmobile. Comes with Batman. We've got Batman logo. Comes with Batman and Golden Batman. We've got Batman vs. Superman Batmobile. Comes with Batman. We've got the Batman Batmobile. Comes with Batman. We've got Batman and Robin Batmobile. Comes with, you guessed it, a Batman. Does he have nipples? Is that the one with nipples? Doesn't matter. You've got Batman Tumbler versus Two-Face and Joker. Okay, here we go. We've got Joker not in a jumpsuit, and we got Two-Face not in a jumpsuit, but it's the movie versions. Because it's the movie car. It makes sense it's a movie version. It's just, you know, whatever. This one, I might get, because it's got the 3 minifigures. I just wish it was the comic ones, because I don't really care about the movies. Respectfully, they're good movies, but also they're not, because it's Nolan, and Nolan has issues. Don't get me started on that. So we found Joker without his jumpsuit. I don't think Two-Face was even in this set. Let's keep going. We've got Batman, the original 66 series comes with a Batman. Batman keychain. I'm not even going to click on it. Superman in a mech, because Superman needs a mech. Batman in a mech, because Batman needs a mech. A Batman knockoff Funko Pop, and then a bunch of Junior sets. Now, Junior sets aren't terrible, but me as a collector does not want to build borderline Duplo. This shit would take me 4 seconds to build, and it's, you know, whatever. I don't mind the Mr. Freeze, but the Batman looks kind of dumb. Menace agrees. We go down, we got a $50 Batman with Batmobile versus Harley Quinn and Mr. Freeze. I don't know what version of Batman this is. This could be, it's the animated series. Okay, more on brand. Harley doesn't look bad. So there's Harley not in a jumpsuit, and there's Mr. Freeze not in a jumpsuit. But Mr. Freeze already wasn't in a jumpsuit in the last one, so that doesn't really count. $50. How many pieces? 400 pieces. $50 for 400 pieces. I'm not going to do the math, but that, again, seems a little high. Because this isn't just a normal set. It's got the little collector plaque. It's a collector set. It's not made for kids, so they raise the price. Let's go to page 2. It's the same set and 2 comic books. Let's look at the 2013 DC superheroes. We got the mini bags. We've got Lex Luthor. We've got Batman. We've got Batman. The aforementioned, it's loading, Two-Face bank robbery with the Batmobile, Two-Face, Batman, and a goon. Originally sold for $50. We've got Batman, Joker, and a Joker goon in a plane. We've got Superman, Wonder Woman, and Lex Luthor, who should be in a mech. We've got the Batcave. We've got, I remember I wanted this one a lot. We've got Catwoman and Batman. We've got Joker's Funhouse. We've got the weird big figs that were a thing in 2011 for some reason. Look at how many characters we got. That's just 2011. Let's go 2012. We'll keep going. That was 2012. Let's go 2013. We've got Arkham Asylum. Originally went for $159. A whole lot less. How many pieces? How many pieces? Let's see. 1,619. How many were in the other one? Let me go look. I don't remember. 2,000. So it's 1,000 more pieces, and it's a $300. 1,000 more pieces, $100 more, give or take. My math might be mathing. We've got Robin. We've got Aquaman, Batman, and Mr. Freeze. We've got fucking Batman versus Bane's shit. We've got Batman. We've got Superman. God, I can't talk anymore. We've got movie stuff, right? Again, we're getting more DC characters. Let's go 2014. We've got Batman and the Penguin. We've got Bad Bat Robin and Batman in a helicopter. We've got the Flash not in a car chasing people. We've got Joker in a bulldozer. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, a lot of these are still vehicles, so you still have my not a diorama issue. Right? But you're getting all these characters you want. There's all these options the past 3 years. 3 years. Let's 2015. I think it kept going. Yeah, there's Green Lantern. There's a Batman mech. You know, that's kind of there's Aquaman, Batman fighting Black Manta. They put Batman in everything because he's sold, but there were so many options, right? This is just from 1 year. And obviously you had the sets from last year that were still available. Now, you've got fucking this. That's it. That's all you got. Does Batman not sell? Anyway, right? So that's one thing. There's less to consume, and what there is like collector sets. There's not a lot for kids, and Lego should be a kid-based property. Let's check Marvel. Let's see what there is for others. Let's do Marvel. We'll do Marvel now. Let's shop. All right, we've got a collector set. A collector set. This one's not a collector's set, but it's still $100 for a Daily Bugle that's not as good as the other Daily Bugle they released like 3 years ago. I guess it's a more affordable Daily Bugle, but it's still $100. Who do you get? You get a couple of Spider-Man, Jonah Jameson. Zombie Spider. Oh, Venomized. I don't know who the fuck that is. Mysterio and Rhino. This is the Rhino set figure from one of the kids sets, by the way. He just doesn't have that mech. This one's okay. It's a cheaper alternative. It's kind of a kid's toy. I kind of fuck with it. This one's also kind of cool. I would have bought this as a kid. Marvel's doing okay. I just don't really give two fucks about Marvel right now. That Venom figure's sick, though. Then we've got Wolverine and Spider-Man in a car. Spider-Man's head. The other Daily Bugle. This set, also a good set. You got Spider-Man on a train fighting Doc Ock. Spider-Man and Hobgoblin. See, Marvel's kind of got it still. They got it a little bit. If I cared about Marvel, I would probably be more into this. I'm just mad. Why aren't we doing this for DC? I'm so mad I'm shaking my camera. I'm not actually mad. If I talk louder, it makes better content. We've got the Portal seat. These all seem kind of overpriced because of inflation. And a lot of these are re-releases, right? Like this is a re-release technically. It's a rebuild. This is not. I like the Galactus. So Marvel has pages compared to DC. And a lot of it is still the kid shit. But at least it's something, you know? Let's go to Star Wars. All right. $1,000 Death Star, collector. Weird Gingerbread House Walker, collector. The word Star Wars, collector. This one has 500 pieces and is like $80 usually. It's on sale. I still think it's a collector one because it comes... Oh, it's part of the 25th anniversary. That's not a bad set. I think it's overpriced, though, because it's Star Wars. The licensing for Star Wars is crazy right now. Same reason I'm not into Black Series. Keep going. Statue, collector, 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 Funko Pop, collector, collector. That's not really a collector, but it is expensive. Here we go. This is an affordable set. Who do we get? Characters from The Mandalorian. We get... You know, that's not too bad. I don't know if I would have wanted them as a kid, though. That's for people who've watched... Do kids watch Mandalorian? Probably. I feel like they do. I don't know. I don't have kids. I work with kids, but they're all too young to watch that shit. I say shit lovingly. I did like The Mandalorian. Let's keep going. Here we go. We got a battle pack with Mace Windu. We've got Darth Maul. But look at the prices. This is 200 pieces and it's $30. I would build this in like 10 minutes. This one is probably the coolest one I've seen so far. That's not collector. Collector, 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 collector. Not a collector. Think that's a collector? Not a collector. But still, $160. Anyway, this has just been me bitching about Lego. But do you get my point? Especially with Batman. There's nothing out there. The stuff for kids is pretty much... If you have a kid who wants Lego, either they get maybe 2 sets at Christmas, unless you've got bank. Or they're getting City. Because the licensing rights are so high... The inflation on plastic is so high. Lego's just not worth it to get into. I'm going to rebuild my old Lego, and probably that's it. I'm probably not going to touch anything new, which makes me sad because I loved building Lego. It's one of my favorite things. I'm excited for my nephew to grow up and get into Lego because then I can build all his sets for him because he's not going to want to until he gets old enough to do it. But it's just... Being a collector's expensive, right? No, and I get what you're saying. No shit. You don't need toys, right? I understand that. But, like, I wish I was able to treat myself a little bit sometimes. I've pretty much... My collecting now is just VHSs and CDs. I got 4 CDs for $40 last week, and I got 2 VHSs for $10, and it was awesome. I now own Space Jam and Hook, one of the greatest movies of all time, and Space Jam. Like, I have time on the weekends to sit down and build. I have time on the weekends to reorganize my shelves. It's just... Everything... The prices for everything keeps changing so much, and... Also, the consumer rate. Like, things are now getting targeted more. Things that should be aimed at kids. I liked them because they reminded me of when I was a child. They were a kid's toy, right? It reminded me of when things were simpler. That's why I got into action figures. It's why I thought about getting back into Lego. It's why I'm kind of back into Pokemon. It's nostalgia, right? I'm getting nostalgia baited. But at this point, other companies are realizing that kids don't make them money. making toys for kids don't make them money. They're gonna leave the toy making for the younger audience to fucking Mr. Beast and goddamn fucking Rainbow Friends, right? The other shit that we were into as kids, that's gonna age up. So one, it's harder for younger people to get into it, right? Kids nowadays aren't gonna get into Lego Batman because why would they want 4 Batmans, right? So it's locking the audience into a certain age group. It's making it harder for that age group to consume because guess what? 18 to 45, your 45s are probably making bank, but your 18 to like 30s are still probably struggling a little bit. And so it's making it harder to consume, harder to collect. And at some point, people are just Lego's just gonna die out. I saw somebody say on the internet, Lego revealed some set, and people said, I honestly don't care anymore. Lego is so oversaturated. There's so much. I remember back when Lego was City, Star Wars, The Friends, Ninjago, and then they got Marvel and DC and Harry Potter. That was pretty much it. There were some other like weird solo themes that would like Monsters lasted like maybe 2 sets. Lego Movie came out. Now everything has a Lego set and they're all expensive. And that is why it is hard for me to be a Lego collector. Because I'm not a Lego collector. I've not bought a Lego set in 2 years. I had to take that back. I bought one last Christmas, but it wasn't for me. It was a 38, not a 38. It was like a 130 piece sports card that I got from my brother-in-law. And it was expensive for a tiny ass car. So people aren't consuming. I'm honestly getting out of collecting, which sucks. It makes me sad. I would love to go buy toys. I look at them, I go, wow, that's so cool. But one, I don't have space because I don't have a big place to live. I'm not a person who has a toy room, right? I gotta fit shelves around my apartment where my roommate will say, yeah, that's fine. And I gotta fill them up and hope it looks nice. And if it doesn't, the shit's gotta go. I still have crates on the floor of shit that I can't fit on shelves anymore that I need to get rid of. But nobody's buying because Spider-Man figures don't go for that much anymore. I've got my Lego Lord of the Rings under my bed waiting to be built and waiting for me to find a way to get the pieces, but I can't. Because space danger and shit is expensive. Even shelving's expensive. I need to go to IKEA. Anyway, this was depressing. I'm sorry. But Lego back in the day was cooler than Lego now. Changed my mind. Let me know what you think of Lego in the comments. Are you a Lego collector? Have I just sat here and shat on your favorite thing for 15 to 20 minutes? You tell me, because I sure as fuck don't know. I can't hear you. I hope you all enjoy. Ooh, that voice crack was just terrible. I hope you all enjoyed Cowabummer. Tune in next week whenever, or if I do it again. I've got a lot of gaming stuff coming up. I hope you all will enjoy, where I'm a lot more positive. I just got really depressed thinking about how old I am. I hope you all enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. Don't if you didn't. Leave a comment if you want to. I accept all forms of comments. I will. Even your hate fuels me, so go for it. I hope my audio is fixed better than my last video that I did that apparently was too quiet. And I will hopefully see you all in the next one. Goodbye!